Coming up on today's review of Raw, will Drew McIntyre be the next world champion? Did the wrong person win the main event? Does Carlito know how his own move works? And more. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another review, and as you can tell, I am back home, and it feels a million times better. I can finally make my own permanent setup. Got my Funko Pops, I got Orange Cassidy and Chris Stratlander. Over here I got a plant, Bulbasaur for some reason, and you can't see it on screen, but right here is my coffee maker because college has given me a caffeine addiction that I'll probably never recover from. It feels great to be home, and it's especially better for making these videos. And since I don't have to do with school anymore, that just means way more time for videos. So this summer I'll be covering as much wrestling as humanly possible. So subscribe so you don't miss it. Well, that's enough yapping. Let's just get into the show. The show kicks off with Drew McIntyre coming out to the ring to do his weekly complaining. CM Punk stole my car. Jey Uso stole my wife. Damien Priest doesn't support the 19th Amendment. You know, the usual stick. Damien Priest comes out because someone has to. And who better than our world champion? Drew tried to bully him like he did to Sheamus a couple weeks back, but Priest is actually impressing me. He started telling Drew that the reason why he's not champion is because he made CM Punk more important than his wife, which is crazy. He also just straight up told Drew that when he's cleared to compete, challenge him for the belt. He's not scared, which is super ballsy, and I respect it. But unfortunately for Priest, when that match comes, I want Drew to win. A lot of people are saying that the Drew McIntyre and CM Punk feud doesn't need a title for it, which yeah, I agree. The feud's gonna be awesome no matter what. But making it for the belt just makes it so much cooler. I don't know, man. Yeah, like root beer is great, but if you give me the option to have vanilla ice cream with it, I'm gonna take that every time. Just let me have my ice cream, okay? It's a no-brainer. But anyways, great segment, thumbs up. Next, it was a quarterfinal match for the Queen of the Ring tournament between Iyo Sky and Shayna Baszler, who I think is completely underrated. After she beat Ronda Rousey and they hyped it up to be like a huge accomplishment, I thought we were gonna get a main event push for her. That just never happened. Even though I think she's great and has a super unique style of wrestling in the women's division. A lot of people have been pushing the idea of a women's mid-card title, and I don't think that's a terrible idea. The match was great, mostly due to these two knowing each other very well. After all, they had a pretty big rivalry in NXT for the women's title, which I found out thanks to Michael Cole. Thanks, Michael. Iyo won this match with a moonsault, which I'm trying to decide who does it better, her or Tiffany Stratton. Great match, thumbs up. After that, we had a King of the Ring tournament quarterfinal between Kofi Kingston and Gunther. Which, okay, I know Kofi Kingston is an extremely decorated wrestler, but he was going up against Gunther. I couldn't help but feel that this match was the equivalent of me fighting Punch-Out Mike Tyson. But the more that I thought about it, Kofi Kingston's at pretty much the same level as Xavier Woods, and Xavier Woods won the King of the Ring tournament, so it's possible Kofi could too. Let's just see who Xavier had to fight in that tournament at this time. It was Ricochet. Now, Ricochet is pretty good, but when compared to Gunther, I feel like there's a little bit of a difficulty gap between the two. Kofi had the right idea by attacking Gunther before the bell rang, which equaled out the playing field a little, leading to an actually good back and forth match that I was not expecting. Kofi even landed a Trouble in Paradise outside the ring, which made Gunther almost lose to a countout, and I actually started to believe there was a chance Kofi would win. Am I an idiot? Maybe a little. But my dreams were ruined when Gunther delivered a powerbomb and a Boston Crab to get the victory. So close. Almost had him. Exceptional. Thumbs up. Next, Samantha Irvin welcomed legendary WWE announcer Lillian Garcia, who introduced the next match. Now, I'm being totally honest, I didn't remember who that was at first, but as soon as I heard her speak, I got flashbacks to my childhood. So I guess I never really paid attention to who the announcer was back then, which wasn't cool. They definitely deserve recognition as well. But then again, I was a kid, so, you know. Anyways, this was pretty cool. Then it was Akira Tozawa versus Big Bronson Reed. Okay, so if the last match was like me fighting Punch-Out Mike Tyson, this match was more of me fighting Ganondorf right when the game starts. It went a staggering 1 minute, but it started with Tozawa actually getting the better of Bronson Reed, using his quickness and agility and a lot of drop kicks. But it went all downhill once he started to celebrate. Bronson delivered a really good Death Valley driver and a tsunami, which obviously ended the match. The tsunami wasn't even necessary. I think the driver would have been fine. This was fun, especially with Chad Gable barking orders at Tozawa, which, you know, he obviously didn't listen to once he got swayed by the fans. Thumbs up. Becky Lynch versus Dakota Kai. Since Damage Control got drafted to Raw, Bayley can finally take a break because it's Becky's turn to deal with him. And what an exceptional match. Becky pulled off a superplex off the top rope. Dakota Kai did that awesome stomp between the ropes. I wish she would slump on me like that. What? But it ended in a disqualification with Damage Control jumping Becky as soon as she locked in the disarmor. Fortunately, Lyra Valkyrie came out to the rescue. Unfortunately, Liv Morgan also came out to attack Becky. So, Lyra, you did your best. This did, however, set up our semi-final match next week between Iyo Sky and Lyra Valkyrie, which should be fantastic. After that, we got a number 1 contenders match for the World Tag Titles. I absolutely love these. Just non-stop action. You had the tall Creed brother doing double suplexes, standing shooting star presses, Tyler Bate picking up and spinning an Author of Pain and somehow not getting dizzy, top rope moonsaults, superplexes, anything you could want. But going into this match, I wanted one of either 2 teams to win. First, the Creed brothers. These guys are so talented and entertaining to watch, but they haven't had their chance at the title yet, unlike New Catch Republic. They weren't even in the 6-pack ladder match at WrestleMania. However, now I'm hoping we wait for them to get the titles once Chad Gable, fires the old Alpha Academy and brings in these guys, because that will be the most insane faction ever. And I can't believe I'm about to say this, I also wanted the Authors of Pain to win, because these guys haven't won anything, and it's getting really hard for me to take them seriously if they don't win something soon. But no, the Judgment Day won thanks to interference by Carlito, who gave Pete Dunne a backstabber on the announce table, which doesn't really make sense because he's the one making contact with the ground first, so it really makes no difference to Pete Dunne where you do it. Next, he should try doing it on thumbtacks, that'll really do the trick. But no, I actually love Carlito, he's the best, okay? So we're gonna have to see if Judgment Day is able to get these tag titles back. Please no, they've had them for so long, please just give the other teams a chance. And finally, it was time for the main event. It was a quarterfinal match for the King of the Ring tournament between Jey Uso and Ilja Dragunov. We were close. We were so close to this. First off, I want to say, does Ilja Dragunov have aura? During his entrance, I definitely felt it. He's just so intense with every moment, and which carried into this match, which was really good. I could talk about, Jey Uso spearing him over the announce table, or Dragunov's super hard clotheslines and kicks. But what everyone is mad about is Jey Uso winning. And I disagree. I don't know. Mainly because you're not ready for Gunther versus Dragunov. I'm not ready for Gunther versus Dragunov. That could be like a premium live event main event right there. Not just a random Raw match. Ideally, we should have had, Gunther on one side of the tournament and Dragunov on the other. I think that would have fixed a lot of problems. What we were given, I think it's okay. Because 2, Jey Uso is a big deal and a big threat. He just competed for the World Heavyweight Championship, and he didn't lose clean. He's at that top level. Dragunov just got here. I know he's, extremely decorated in NXT and NXT UK, but he just got to the main roster. Give him time for the fans to warm up to him, Because sure, I like him, and I'm sure a lot of, diehard fans like him, but just listen to the arena. Everyone was chanting for Jey Uso. I think Dragunov will get there. He's just not yet. I would totally understand if it was someone like Baron Corbin who beat him on the main roster, but Jey Uso is a top dog. I think he'll be fine. But I do wish this match did go on a little longer. 12 minutes just does make it seem a little too easy for Jey. That is my one critique. Besides that, though, thumbs up. And since we're keeping Jey at this level, go all the way. Have him beat Gunther. Do it. No balls. Anyways, that was my review of Raw. I think it was a great show for me to come back to. Did I miss a couple of things? Yes. Was it because the Diamondbacks game didn't end until 10 o'clock and I barely finished Raw at 1 in the morning and I might have forgotten some things? Also yes. But I pledge from today forth, wrestling comes first. So subscribe so you don't miss my reviews of Dynamite and SmackDown later this week. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.